can see the screen. So thank you so much again for being here today. We are gonna do, I was being called to do a pandemic detox. I know all of us are have been quarantined, stay at home, can't really connect like physically. And I am so glad that you guys are here virtually with me. My name is Vivian, and for those of you who know, I'm a human MRI or a medical intuitive, and I'm also a business intuitive doing money magnet activation. So thank you for being here. So I know it's either you're here because you don't know what to do with your time, or there are some issues, perhaps health issues, emotional things, anything that triggers you regarding this pandemic that's happening in our world right now. And so what we want to do today is to really release a lot of these stresses that's happening in our world, right? So I ask you to be completely present. Let's set the container for that, for you to really benefit, because at the end, I'm going to call some people to actually confront whatever issues they were having, right? So take a look at that, clear any weaknesses that they may have, any stresses, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, and see how you all benefit as well, because we know that we are collective, right? We're all one, and we're all in the same boat. It's just we are looking at things all differently. So I want to make sure that with every stress happening in the home right now, even at work, with any business that you may have, being quarantined, if you're having trouble staying positive when news and social media talk about the doom and gloom, if you're having family members, perhaps you're in the front line and you are exposed to a lot of people with immune compromised systems. Obviously, this is magnified by fear, anxiety, stress, and other negative emotions. So we want to make sure that everyone's healthy, right? And some may be emotionally eating because of the things happening. So what's in it for you today? I just want to share with you that I'm going to teach you today how to unplug from collective fear, panic, phobia, anxiety, and any uncertainty in these challenging times, so you feel better. In other words, you're more neutral and you're not attached, you're not triggered by the things that you hear, and you're not swayed by those things, right? You can experience an immediate shift in your energy by getting to the root cause of your problem. Now, mind you, like I said, since we're all part of the collective, I may be clearing one person on the call, and you might actually feel the shift in your own energy if you're having the same issue. And I'm also going to share with you some practical tools that you can do yourself to clear your own lymphatic system. Okay, so it can decrease your triggers and stress. All right. So I just want to define some terms so you understand what collective means. So collective is defined as like a group of people, right? So it's something that's done by people acting as a group. So the human race is a collective. Americans, that's a collective. Our family and ancestors, that's also a collective. So how does it affect your body? So I know that there's so many news out there. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of panic. So I believe the more you understand yourself, the more you understand how your health and your system works within yourself, you can actually help the situation. So the question is, when you look at the pandemic, are you actually focusing on the problem, or are you focusing on the solution, right? So here is why it's so hard to change. I want to share with you how your field, so everyone has a field, right? We all have an energetic field. You are the magnet of your own universe, right? So you can see how many layers this is. So one of the reasons it's so hard to make real changes is that energetic fields beyond ours affect us. So if you look at yourself, you have your own personal field, right? Your family or miasmic field, your species or morphogenetic field, your cultural field, your historical field, and your universal field, right? Now, I believe that the universal field is the energetic field of the divine. You can call it Creator, Christ, Holy Spirit, Allah. So you ask and you shall receive. So obviously there's a reason why you're all here, because you're looking for some answers. So we know, and you've heard and read this everywhere in every literature, that love can penetrate, right? Go through universal field and cut through all the BS, cut through all the stuff happening right now to get to yourself. So I'm hoping that with all your free time, if you have a lot of free time, you are actually taking care of yourself. You're doing self-care. You're taking care of yourself in many ways, because that's the only way you can actually serve. I even read this quote. It says, take care of yourself because you'll never know when the world needs you. And so a lot of the healers, or any one of us that's working on ourselves, you'll notice that you are being asked now to rise, right? You're being asked to serve, be of service to people. Because when you start taking care of you, then you can start helping others without attachment, right? All right. So I want to share with you how I look at things to help you understand how easy it is to actually be healthy, right? So we know, remember that self in the middle? So just think about yourself. You yourself have 4 boundaries. You have your physical boundary, you know, where your skin touches, that red field. You see this person in the middle, and that's the red field. That's a physical boundary, right? Money, health, survival. That's physical. Then you have your emotional field, which is orange and yellow. Sometimes your emotions, aside from the other people's emotions, are there. That's why for those that are highly sensitive right now, it's not like we don't care or we're not feeling what's happening. We actually feel it, like the skin of an onion. We're feeling everything. The difference is we have tools to help you really get there, right? To be more neutral and grounded and know that the emotions you're feeling may not be all yours right now. You might be feeling, if your mom in the Philippines is having some panic attacks, you might be feeling that. The whole world, maybe 80%, 90% is feeling all the fear and the trauma. And the question is, do you actually bond with the trauma and the abuse and all the triggers that are happening? Or are you actually able to hold your own emotional space, your own emotional intelligence, right? There's also the relational field, the green and the blue. That's your relationship with others. Again, that's magnified right now. And then your spiritual field, your purple field, right? Purple and white. So we ourselves individually have 4 types of boundaries. And remember this, after this, it's your family, species, cultural, historical, then universal. So if you're highly sensitive, you're probably feeling everything right now, knowing that this pandemic is global. So I just want to share what alignment feels like, because the question is, are you aligning with your own truth, meaning your soul, heart, mind, and body are actually thinking the same, feeling the same, doing the same, or are you aligning with the news and the media and all the scary stuff? Just ask yourself that, because we all have access to divine truth. So if you can align to what is true, that would really help you be more centered and grounded. All right, I do want to share with you, everybody touch their left rib cage, because I want you to locate your spleen, okay? So touch your armpit on the left, and if you go, just bring that down all the way to the very bottom of that rib cage. Around your 8th rib cage, you're gonna feel your spleen. So it's this little guy here by the stomach, this brown thing here on the left side, okay? So in Chinese medicine, we talk about bad temper is bad spleen energy. So if you are under this negative emotions category, or you're feeling it, and we're all feeling some of this at one point or another: worry, excessive thinking, pensiveness, obsessiveness, remorse, regret, obsessions, and self-doubt. If there's imbalance in this spleen, you're going to have negative emotions. Now, if you have trust, honesty, openness, acceptance, right? We can't do anything. We're all at home. So what can we do, right? Equanimity, balance, and impartiality. Then it's fine. You are able to express positive emotions even in the middle of the storm. So remember, a little virus, if you think about that, I know the media has kind of magnified it, right? Can your body not process that? I've been in the healthcare field. I'm a physical therapist, and I've seen a lot of cancer, lymphedema clients. It is important that you have a bloodstream that transports nutrients, a lymphatic system that removes waste, and the picture looks like that. If you think of little grape clusters all over your joints and all over your organs, and then there's like a highway, just like the circulation, that's your lymphatic system. And then if you're connected to source and there's flowing energy, a lot of you call it God, divine, right? However you want to call it, universe. It's source energy flowing through you. And when you breathe, if I tell you to imagine this beautiful gold coming down your body, if you're not able to move that energy all the way down to the earth, then there's a resistance to the flow. There's a resistance to that makes you feel good and make you operate in this life. Okay, so think about having good health is you have good bloodstream, good lymphatic system. In other words, you can let go and you have access to divine source. When you have all those, you will have good health. You can fight any virus, bacteria, parasite, anything that is in your system that shouldn't be there. You could handle it. Actually, when you start coughing, when you start having congestion, when you start having fever, those are healthy responses to a virus, okay? It's normal that we fight foreigners and other things that shouldn't be there. Okay. Again, just to reiterate what the lymphatic system does, it's the accumulation of dead cells, minerals, debris, heavy metals, degenerative enzymes, and free radicals from all our organs, glands, and biological systems that come out through our lymphatic system. So remember, it's basically designed to remove toxins, right? From the deepest brain cells to the most superficial epidermal cells of your outer skin. So waste drains through your lymphatic system, not your circulatory system. All right, so everybody, let's massage. You're gonna massage your body. And these are the massage points. And you're gonna do it a good 30 seconds to a minute. And this is gonna help you activate your own lymphatic flow, okay? So first, locate your collarbones. And go ahead and start moving clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever feels good to you. You might find one part more sore or tender than the other. So just take a deep breath as you're doing it. Go ahead. The one close to your collarbone, do you know that the lymphatic system actually enters your heart, your right atrium, okay? So that first point I'm teaching you is the first part wherein that's the final exit of your lymphatic system before it gets to your heart. Now you'll notice for those of you that have swelling, right, in your arms or legs, if these points are tender, I usually would massage it until the tenderness goes away. So you can use your own fingers, you can use a little massager or a vibrator there to just massage it. And when it doesn't bother you anymore, that just means it's working better. There's a better flow. Okay, so now Everybody hold your armpits, like underneath your armpits, and go ahead and massage it. Yee, don't tickle yourself. Go ahead. Good. All right. And then the other one is the side ribs. Remember that spleen area? In Chinese medicine also, this is the kidney point. So go ahead and massage that whole side, the lowest part of your rib cage on each side. And take a deep breath. It's really cool to just feel good, right? We have all the time in the world to take care of our bodies now. And perhaps we weren't taking care of it prior, so this is actually a good time. And we also know this physical body of ours, when it's hurting, it's like giving us a message, something's not right anymore. And the boundaries we talked about, emotional, relational, spiritual, a lot of times there's some energies there that may be interfering with your ability to heal. That's why those are the ones we're going to work on, okay? All right, so how does that feel, everyone? You guys good?
Good.
Awesome. So I'm going to call one person at a time, and we're going to have you bring up one problem that you've been noticing. It could be a part of your body. It could be a business or a job question or emotional stress. It doesn't really matter. So I wanted to give a chance for people that they haven't been with me. If you want to unmute yourself and ask a question. Let me ask Belen. Looks like Belen has a question. Go ahead, Belen.
Hi, how are you, Vivian? It's good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. How are you?
I was so glad that you invited me to this class. Just a few days ago, I started coughing, like 4 days ago, I was coughing.
Yeah, I hear it. Okay.
And the thing is that, I came from the Philippines and we arrived here in February. And I've been on isolation, of course, for almost a month now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But so I attributed this cough because I started eating chocolate. I had a little bit of a milk product, which I'm allergic to.
Okay.
But it's been done with that. Now, I do not know if could this be also related to, I just learned like 2 days ago that a colleague of ours, a former colleague of ours, had died, at the local hospital from COVID.
Okay.
And so I kind of, I'm mourning the loss, because she used to be my sort of like our consultant when things get rough and we don't know what to do. She's just really very seasoned, critical care nurse. So, I mean, I guess that's emotionally, that's part of it, but I don't know, is there something that could...
Yeah, so what we're going to do here, we're going to do a demonstration of how to help your symptom, right?
Okay.
So let's not get into the story. We got this.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
I'm going to mute you first, and everybody feel this because I'm going to teach you, I promise, how to unplug from everything, right? So let's all try this. So whatever I'm going to tell Belen, everybody do this too. So first, I'm going to have you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I'm going to have you ground to the center of the earth, everyone. When I say ground, think of yourself like a tree and you're bringing roots down to the earth. And you're going to have to go 4,000 miles below. And think of your, your whole spinal cord. Everybody focus on their midline, because that's your central nervous system, and we're going to have to clear any energies there. If you are a very tactile person, right, meaning you use your hands a lot for healing, rub your hands together and think of your body as if you have a hologram of you in front of you, and you're going to use your hand, whatever hand you prefer, to connect to source, right? So think of God as if, of course, God is beyond the angels, right? And then all the way down is the earth, which is about 4,000 miles below. So visualize a golden tube from your tailbone and bring it 4,000 miles below you. And take a deep breath. So when you breathe blue, as if you're bringing water from the earth through your feet, legs, all the way to the top of your head, and then bring down red from your heart. So the water goes way back above your head, right? And the water falls in front of your face. And then think of a bright red energy from your heart, belly, and pubic bones. So now use your hand to go up and down, just scanning your body. Normally, when you don't have a problem connecting to God and earth, so your body is the conduit or the in-between, right? You should be able to move your hands up and down smoothly, front and back, no problem. If you have resistance there, that's where the dis-ease or the illness comes in. So we're going to identify for Belen what that is. Get to the root cause of her cold, cough, congestion, okay? We're going to connect to source now. So Belen, think of the top of your head. Just beam up some beautiful gold light up as if you're reaching way up to the heavens. So go beyond this planet, beyond the galaxy and solar system. We're going to go where the angels are, and we're going to go past the angels where creation started, and just allow the heavens to open up for you and bring it in. Bring it down to your head, your body, and all the way to the earth. Let's form a golden bubble around you. So everybody put your hand as if you're coming from the heavens, and then you're creating this beautiful bubble which represents your whole system, your body with your field. And say your full name 3 times. So the rest of you, if you want to treat yourself, you can scan the body again up and down and just make sure that that field is clear and light. So Belen, let me see where this throat thing is coming from, right? Do you say you have a dry cough or is it kind of wet?
It's kind of wet.
Kind of wet. Okay. All right, good. And do you have any fever?
No.
Okay. All right, so first I'm going to have you all unplug from the COVID-19 pandemic. Everybody say that. All right, you're going to feel the energy leave your body. So if you have any attachments to how the government thinks and all that, so that's a little bit of irritation from the group on how the authorities are handling things. So let's delete that to 0 minus infinity. So your cough thing, because you want to say something, this is where it's coming from, right? So that's why I'm going to have you unplug from all this. You're also going to have to unplug from the Philippines because there's a lot of relationships there, and that's weakening the system. So you're taking on their problems and then bringing it here to try to help them. So say I unplug from, you can all say from any country that I'm attached to, or to the ground, you know, with all this uncertainty. Okay, so there's a weakness in uncertainty. That's what's going on. So let's delete this uncertainty to 0 minus infinity. Like your projects are on hold and you really want to get things through. So the pathway is getting restricted. So let's take a deep breath. Let's delete that. Let me clear that from you. Okay, everybody say, I return all energies that are not mine back to the sender's higher self. So whoever sent it to you, sometimes you don't even know where you picked it up. You're just picking it up because you're sensitive and you want to help, right? Everybody likes to help. At this time, it seems like everybody that has an open heart and just very loving, you guys like to help. We all like to help. Good or bad, we like to help, but that's a common thing that we all carry as humans. All right, take a deep breath. There is some irritation of your bronchus and bronchioles, so let's clear that out, okay? There's a little bit of allergy also. There's an allergic component, Belen, so let's clear your allergies from people, from the environment, okay? From all these rules. You hate rules, so let's delete the hating of the rules to 0 minus infinity. So that's the weakness where it's coming from. That's why your lungs are trying to do its best. You do have a weakness of inhalation. Okay, so let's delete that weakness in inhaling, like the goodness, because you don't want to inhale all these bad stuff, but you got to be neutral to it. We're all subject to it, right? So take a deep breath and release that to 0 minus infinity. And strengthen you to be neutral, 100% infinite potential. So your friend that passed away, we're going to send her to the veil. She's in a better place. Like all of us have contracts, right? When we leave the planet. So obviously for her, it was time, and COVID was just an excuse, right? So I'm going to have you just send her to the veil or send her to the light, and just be grateful for everything that she's done. There is a sense of loss there. So let's take a deep breath and just unplug from all that loss and allow the divine to work its magic. Allow God to work through whoever's here. Whew. Wow. All right, so now you're draining. I can see the energy. I can see the post-nasal drip happening there. What's going on? Tell me, did you feel different? Same?
Yeah,
Not
a
the
little
same?
bit. Like my nose is not as moist. It seems like
Good.
the
Yeah, it's
post
starting to drain. Do you feel it?
fire.
Yeah, I can see it going through the back of your throat now and then draining into the chest. Okay, cool.
Good, cool.
Very good.
That's
Thank you.
fast, right? Thank you. Thank you for, so yeah, you don't have COVID. I just want to tell you.
I know you got it. You start thinking. I'm like, oh no.
No,
Should
you
I-
don't have it. No. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so let's see here. Victoria, you want to ask a question?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, great. So thank you, Vivian. So I've been experiencing some kind of heaviness and a burning, acidy sensation in my esophagus and stomach.
Okay.
It comes and goes. It's not constant, and I don't know, if it depends on what I eat or
Right.
or
Okay.
what.
All right, so let's look at that. Okay, so that's what we call your cardiac sphincter. It's like a valve between the esophagus and the left side of the stomach is on the left side, right? So I do see a cumulative effect of stress on you. So let's again delete that stress. Let me first connect your cardiac sphincter to your midline and your midline to the cardiac sphincter. Let me see where that's coming from. Hold on. Okay. So I want you to use your, let me see. I want you to use your right index finger. And remember that bubble that you have of yourself? I just want you to use the right index finger, because the stress for you is the pathway for your purpose feels blocked right now. So I'm going to have you just use the right index finger and start to just as if you're cleaning up that whole body of yours so that your pathway can start to open up. And again, take a deep breath and bring in a lot of gold from the heavens into your body and down into the earth. All of these things are just, again, consequence of the whole world is suffering through it, right? So let's delete any cumulative effects of stress from any pandemic you've experienced in past life experiences and even in your in-between lifetimes. Let's clear that to 0 minus infinity. Take a deep breath in. I will strengthen your small intestines and large intestines are not quite connected to your central nervous system. Let's strengthen the nerves that supply your colon and also the blood vessels and the flow. Let's strengthen that to 100% infinite potential. Keep on breathing. When I look at, I ask your angel of Akashic Records, is she going to be okay? The answer is yes. She just needs to trust the universe that everything is happening for a reason. And I remember I shared with you that eventually you have a buyer for your business and all of that. You just have to hold on to that vision because it is real. Like it's gonna happen. Now, the more we think about how do we do this? How, you got to delete that mind of yours. So say I delete and unplug myself from the mind and spirit of people that are worried, afraid, like they don't know what to do, panicking. So go ahead and everybody unplug from the mind and spirit of everyone that's panicking, fearful, anxious. So you might feel like cords coming out of your head, cords coming out of your back, your buttocks, your legs, right? That's okay. That's just part of it. So if you just connect to source and earth every single day and really allow that good channel of your spinal cord to keep on moving up and down your spine, things will flow for you. The energy needs to flow, right? And whatever is happening in the world, I mean, it'll happen no matter what. All right, so let's see what's going on with your, okay, cardiac sphincter is so much better. So tell me how you're feeling there, Victoria. Any change?
I feel relaxed and
Good.
Yeah, I'm not having any pain right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Melissa, let's call Melissa.
Hey,
You have
Vivian.
You have a question? How are you?
I am okay.
Yeah.
My question is more business related than health. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I've lost a very lucrative client, and I see that as an opportunity.
Mhm.
And I'm just kind of wanting to get moving and not getting a lot of traction yet.
What kind of business are you in, Melissa?
Well, the contract that I lost was consulting. I do a lot of things. What I really want to do most is write, edit, and speak.
Oh, okay. So let's take a deep breath and just allow for that to release, okay? So the client, because it's a huge clientele for you, right? Obviously.
Right.
It basically took on a lot of space, your space. So let's delete any weakness in your, I also have to increase your capacity in receiving, okay?
Yeah.
So everybody has this issue, is the difficulty receiving, right? So money is a receiving issue, okay? So sometimes our container is not big enough to hold things. So let's delete any old weakness of your old container, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is from past life experiences. So you do have a belief, unconscious belief, that you can only be so much. It's very, very unconscious. So let's say, go ahead and say, I unplug from all my unconscious beliefs about havingness.
About what?
Havingness, your ability to have.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so go ahead and unplug from that. All right, so a lot of your grandfather showing up. So I'm
Yeah.
do you live in an either or mentality?
Unfortunately, yes. I've been trying to switch to the and mentality.
The and also?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
let's release your grandfather's, because you think that when you do that, your grandfather won't love you anymore. So the either or in a lot of our mentality is, I can either have love or money. And I can tell you guys, you will always choose love over money. Because, but what if you can have both, and money is actually something that gives you more choices, right, in life? Because those boundaries I talked about, you can't go to a church or contribute to any organization if you don't have money. You can't really have a good relationship if you can't provide for at least the basics, right? You're gonna fight all the time with your partner. Emotionally, it doesn't feel good when your bank account is 0 to negative. And physically, you can't buy a car or even go to work when you don't have money, right? So money is in all boundaries. So let's take a deep breath and unplug you from the negative reactions, sensations, and emotions regarding money, or making money, having money, spending money, not holding on to money, or managing money. Everybody, let's unplug everyone's issue on that. Take a deep breath. Whew. Wow. The whole group has a lot of stuff there. So the buttocks stuff kind of pulled out. Every cord that I see in the butt, the legs, you're still feeling that. So bring in more gold to the area where you're releasing. Take a deep breath. Good. Awesome. All right, let me strengthen you to your new reality of increased capacity and havingness. So bring in again from the divine and around your bubble and down into the very bottom of the earth and say, I call my havingness, my abundance, my prosperity back to me now. There you go. Now, woo-hoo! See, everyone's capable here in this group. It's so cool. You just have to own it, own that space, right?
Yep.
All right, so now I want you to completely unplug from that client and return all of her energies back to her higher self. And if you can represent her with a golden rose, like a life-size one, connect that rose to God and earth, and move her about 1 million light years away from you because she's taking up space. She's taking up space right now.
I can't get rid of the bitterness and resentment I have.
No, it's not yours, honey. It's ask if it's yours, because when I muscle test, it's not yours. So that's why I say you have to return that energy back to her higher self.
Got it.
So I want you to release her completely. The bitterness, just to let you know, is a form of anger, right? Anger is a boundary violation. So obviously she entered your space and most likely some parts of your space.
Right.
So we now are going to completely delete that client from your space to 0 minus infinity, and all karma, limitations, negative reactions, sensations and emotions you have with each other, any past life experiences you have, let's clear that to 0 minus infinity. And strengthen you to be neutral to 100% infinite potential. Now, finally, you let go. Okay, so bring in divine forgiveness for yourself, for taking her in. I mean, she gives you a lot of headache. I don't even know why you have that client.
Ridiculous. I
That
know.
client will be fired. Like, for me, 3 times, you're out. That's it for me. It's not worth my energy and time to deal with that person, right? Or you could charge them 3 or 4 times, depending on what's your muscle testing on that person. Because money is what are you unwilling to receive, right? So if you're willing to receive all that, yeah, you can. It's just you got to multiply the charge.
Right.
Okay, right? So if you don't have any trigger when it comes to that, you can just charge people that are difficult more. It's easy. That's how you do it. Yeah, it's called business for a reason. Business is not you. The business is another, like your child, and you're feeding this child. So if the child likes customers, right, because that's the bloodline of the business, yeah, you can, except, you know, they're going to take up more of your time, so you just charge them more.
Right.
Okay, how are you feeling?
Better. I still have a bit of a discomfort in my solar plexus.
Okay, so let me see where that's coming. Okay, so for you, you have a lot of boundary issues when it comes to money. So I want you to ask the divine to repair your physical boundary, because you feel like you're giving away your power, right? And we do this. This is how I know when I do energy work and then I'm exhausted after.
Yep.
That means I gave away so much and the other person's not really contributing, right?
Right.
Or they're codependent. They want me to just solve everything for them.
Right.
So let's delete any codependencies, even in your field, from your ancestors. So for us, if we have some codependency, and we all have, right? Unfortunately, we all have, right? Until we realize that when we take care of ourselves, we can actually serve better. So codependency is we give so much, and then when we need help, we ask the same person to help us and they can't help us at the moment. And then we become resentful and angry towards the person. So that's a codependency. So I want you to break your karma sticks with any codependencies you have. Everybody break your agreement. Say, I completely delete and free myself from all contracts, vows, unconscious, subconscious, and conscious agreements I've made that no longer serve my highest good. Take a deep breath. Yeah, so this is, your guides are telling me that this is the best time for you to actually really assess what kind of clients you were taking in before,
Right.
and have a new standard of reality.
Yeah.
And you have to delete the guilt of, well, what if,
Yes.
you know, when we charge the amount that we charge and we're like, oh, but I can't do that right now because everybody is furloughed or having problems with money.
Yeah.
Guilt
It's not about that, right? Guilt is, society has programmed us that if we're not like them, we're not like the Joneses, we're not like the successful people, then we're not good enough. We can delete that now, all of those comparisons, because that just makes us unhappy, right?
Right.
So guilt is when you promise something to yourself, or perhaps all of us have contract with our higher self, right? We know exactly what we need to do to be happy, yet because our families say this and have a comment and we're afraid. So that's how society defines guilt. Like, if you don't do what I say, then you should feel guilty. That's a complete error. When you promise yourself something, especially your higher self, related to your soul purpose, and you don't fulfill your promise, you are guilty of violating your own integrity to yourself.
Yep.
That's true guilt. It's not when somebody else tells us, you should have done this. No, you should live and you should die. Those are the two things that we should do. That's it. Those are the only two things. Everything else is optional, okay? All right, how's your solar plexus there? Is that better?
Still active, but it's better, definitely.
Awesome. So keep on bringing in some light and occupying yourself 100%, okay? So create some new standards for your business. So your capacity now is bigger, so it's perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else has a question?
Yeah.
Hi,
Somebody?
Vivian.
Yeah.
Can my husband ask a question? He's
Yeah.
next to me. His name is Robert.
Hi, Vivian. How are you? Good to be with you today.
Oh, hi, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What's your question?
I had a health-related question. About a month ago, we were in the Philippines, and I woke up one morning and I could hardly hear out of my right ear. Felt like very congested, and it was all muddled. And I finally ended up going to a doctor. He said I had some fluid in the behind the eardrum, and he put me on some antibiotics for a week or two, and it really didn't get that much better. It's a lot better now, but it's still, I can hear the popping going on in the right ear all the time, like there's a congestion still. And I was wondering what you feel or what you see.
All right, let's see what's going on. What I picked up there. Okay, so
Yeah.
Robert, are you connected with your own soul purpose at this time? That's
Yes, I am.
what is it that you really want to do before you leave this planet?
Well, I want to spread the word in my writing. I'm an optometrist by profession, and I sold my practice about 6 years ago, and now I'm writing children's picture books. And I love spreading, the word to children and young people about different things in life. Like my new one is on bullying, and my first one was on nutrition, things like that. So.
Okay. So by Chinese medicine definition, some of your ear popping is a little bit of stress coming from the kidneys, okay?
Uh-huh.
Let's delete some of the stresses in your kidneys now. So let's take a deep breath, just focus on your midline, and let's delete any cumulative effects of stress in your kidney area. It was triggered by the pandemic. So let's unplug from all the stresses of your wife right now.
Okay.
So we can't share stresses, right? We have to stop
Right.
Yeah.
sharing stresses. So go ahead and just think of you can think of a drainage tube from your kidney down to the earth and bring it 4,000 miles below.
Okay.
And as if there's like a beautiful water on top of your head, and just bring that down. You can visualize that running through your kidneys, just discharging excess energies, because that'll help the ear. I do see your ear canals are not level, so that's causing the imbalance. So there is a little exercise I teach people to like hold the sides of their ear and then kind of pull it away from each other, just gently, in a way that you start to feel like a release on the temporal area.
Okay.
So you
Like,
can do that when you're lying down. Yep,
Uh-huh.
like that, just gently. So
Mhm.
as if you're just releasing the tension in the skin, and you can feel it when you access the fluid a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
just for you to balance the temporal lobe area and the part of the eustachian tube there. Let me see where that hearing thing is coming from. Let's take a deep breath. Are you still working, or like that ear? Is it the right or the left that you're having trouble with?
The biggest one is the right. Yeah.
Okay. Where do you sleep, on that side? Like there's a
Um,
weakness in sleeping.
I think I start out on the left, but sometimes I'll end up on the right also.
Okay, so let's delete the weakness in sleeping. Let's clear that to 0 minus infinity. Are you able to sleep well, or have difficulty with that?
So, for the most part, sometimes, some nights I do have some difficulty, but for the most part, I'm okay.
Okay, so let's take a deep breath and release. I mean, I see a lot of leaks around your soul purpose. That's the reason why I said it seems like you wanted a certain purpose in your life, that's what you're called to do, but you're not able to do it. Is it the time limitation? Like, what's causing you not to focus on what you really want to do?
Well, at this point, I feel like I'm doing the thing that I really want to do. Yeah, because
Are you full time with that now?
I am.
Okay, good. Okay. So I'm going to have you say, I gather all of my energies from past and future back to my present.
I gather all of my energies from past to future to the present.
Okay, take a deep breath and just put your index finger above your upper lip, just to facilitate that, and your other hand on your belly button. And just allow yourself to gather all of those soul fragments, energies, anything you left behind before this life or after this life. Just bring it to present so that you can be fully in the now to fulfill your soul purpose, because that's the biggest weakness I see.
I see.
Let's take a deep breath. And unfortunately, we all go through this, right? Sometimes we wait for a big sickness to happen. It's like waiting for the shoe to drop, and finally, like, God knocks you out and you go, oh yeah, now that I have cancer, now I can actually do this. Like, nope, don't wait for that, you guys. Okay, so delete all the sicknesses. Like, we don't have to be sick in order for us to really fulfill what we were meant to do in life, despite all and everyone's resistance. Okay, so let's take a deep breath and let's strengthen your ability to really be aligned with your soul purpose, Robert, to 100% infinite potential.
Very good.
Wow, how does your ear feel right now? It actually just went back to level. Good.
It feels good. It feels good right now. It seems pretty good. Feels like it's open, the channels, eustachian tube.
Yep. Yeah. So you see how that, like, it looks, you're thinking it's my ear, you go to the doctor, they may say, oh yeah, you have to do this, this, and that, take this medicine, but it's really just your soul purpose. You got to get on with it and really be present with it. Like, what is it telling you? You may want to journal, because it seems like your spirit guides are sharing with you what it is that you need to do next. or who you need to serve. So just be in tune with that higher self of yours. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. I'm going to look at the chat because there's some people here. They have a tight gripping feeling in the mid back and some tension in the throat and slight occasional cough. Okay. So Angie, that is, go ahead and return that. There was a person that you were doing Facebook Live and somebody liked you so much and kind of attached to your energy. So break your karma sticks with that person and return all that energy back to their higher self. Yeah, because it's, when I muscle test, if it's, is this, you know, like physical, emotional, or spiritual, definitely it's spiritual, it's non-physical. So we have to return that back to that person. So a lot of times I notice this in my client. If you are codependent with your mother or, you know, a parent, when I start to release that energy from them, what happens is you find another person or another person finds that space because it's open. That's why when we release the energy, I always ask you guys to bring in divine energy, like the gold, into that space because it's still space, right? Like now you have like a clean living room, you took out the couch. So now usually you replace it again with the same something, like a different object. So then when another person is removed from that space, then another person comes in. Until you say, hey, wait a minute, this is my space, right? That's why we have boundaries. It's very healthy to have boundaries and to say no. That's it. Like, this is my space and I'm going to use it for what I want to use it for, right? Not everybody can just chime in. Okay, so Angie, tell me how you're feeling there. Is that better after you released it?
Yes, it is better. Thank
Okay,
you.
there's still, there's another one, Angie. There's an attachment to being successful. So I want you to delete that attachment. So in other words, whether you're poor, extremely poor, or extremely rich, you're going to stay happy no matter what. Okay, so let's delete the attachment to success. And let's also delete the attachment to failure, to 0 minus infinity. So everybody say success, no success, neutral. Okay, failure, no failure, neutral. There you go. Now you can have fun doing your work. Okay, how do you feel? Is that better?
Yeah, it feels better in my throat.
Yeah.
As well, thank you.
Yeah, so so this is how I know when we're not using spiritual work, when we're not really present 100% in our body. These are observations and I want to share them with you because you might find them like golden nuggets and beneficial information. So when you're doing something and you're happy, you're not thinking of anything in return, whether you get paid or not paid, you're just happy. You're neutral, right? Like, I just want to have fun and see how I can help the world, right? To be of service right now, because everybody needs some kind of enlightenment, right? Then you're fine, right? So whether you fail, whether you succeed, you're still going to be happy. So you carry your own barometer, your own thermometer, your own umbrella anywhere you go. You don't allow other people to sway you or influence you because you know yourself. We all are God's children, so to speak, right? If we bring, I always think if God's within me, like, what's going to happen to me? Nothing. So if somebody doesn't like me or hates my guts for what I'm doing, because I can shift things really quick, so what? So, and if somebody really loves me, so what, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So neutral means you're not emotionally triggered or attached to anything. So you can look at things so differently, okay? More objectively. All right, so Mickey has a question on, she has symptoms. You also feel other people's emotions and unfortunately you take that on. Otherwise, many self-care and love being done with social distancing. Oh, very good. I am proud of you, Mickey. Okay.
How are you? Thank you so much for doing this, Vivian. I know how many people you help and get us all calm and
yeah, yeah. It's the world is abundant, right? Like there's a lot of people that are helping others, and I appreciate you guys being here. So Okay, let me see what's going on with you. So what is your real question?
Well, my real question is the worry. I have a son that's in the midst of in New York, so I worry for everyone, and I feel a lot from people in general because
Okay.
I try to help a lot of seniors. So that's my industry.
That's right. That's right.
The industry that's being hit the hardest is the biggest concern for me,
Right.
and mainly that, and then the worry. My son is within, a mile within those hospitals that are being hit the most in Brooklyn.
Got
So, it's always a worry when you have no control, right?
That's right.
So
Say
trying to learn to let those
those go, right?
emotions go. Sure.
So you can, are you visual, tactile? Like what's the best way?
Both
Both?
visual and feeling. I think visual and emotional.
Okay. So if you have a spouse or children, right? You
Mhm.
put them on your right side. So you guys can follow me on this one. So you can put your son on your right, and what's his full name? Just say it once.
Wade.
Say that.
Scott Peter Wade.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you ground him like you did yours a while back, and then connect him to source. Same thing. So think of just a golden straight line. You can even draw him in front of you, right? So as if you're accessing gold from the heavens, and then you create that nice bubble for him, and then connect him to earth. And go ahead and say, I return all of my son's energy back to his higher self.
I return my son and his family's energy to his higher self.
No, not his family, just him.
No, just
So,
him.
yeah.
Okay. I return my
His
son.
family, like you have to return the energy of the wife
Each
to the
person.
wife. Right. Every
Mhm.
single person has their
Okay.
own, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, good.
I return my son's energy to his higher self.
Okay, good. Perfect. Now, the real worry, by the way, Mickey, I know you have that in your head, but that's not your weakness. It is very normal to feel and be empathic about other people, right? But
Sure.
remember, you're a very powerful being, and what you think is what happens. It
Exactly.
becomes true. So what you need to do is ask the divine to unplug him. So you can teach him this technique to say, I unplug from the coronavirus pandemic. I unplug from all sick clients, patients, right? I unplug, everybody unplug from the medical system because they are scaring the heck out of you guys. It's either they want you to take the medicine, vaccination, or whatever it is, but you need to connect to your higher truth and just know what's right for you.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the part that's missing here is they're teaching us how to be codependent with a system when we really have our own guidance system. Okay, so take a deep breath. So you are gonna have to unplug from the fear of the medical system, okay? So if you guys still access the medical system, I understand, and you feel comfortable with that, that's fine, but you have to unplug from their fear and their panic and their phobia. So if you guys just do that every morning, unplug from the media. Just try it. Say it. I unplug from the news.
Unplug from the media.
Unplug from the social media, because sometimes the social media gives you some weird creeps too, right? So go ahead, keep on saying. Unplug from the fear and panic and phobia of the medical system. Unplug from the fear and panic of the seniors. Say that because you have a lot there. Yeah, your boundaries, when I look at it, yeah, it's very porous. So bring in, ask God for increased protection at this time in all of your energetic boundaries. That's what we're going to ask for. And ground that aura of yours. We have to ground your aura because we know that you have a reason to stay, right? You have a lot of purpose and you really care a lot about these seniors.
Yes.
But at the same time, you can't carry their thing. That you can't carry their path. Like they have their own path. The best way is bring all the seniors that you know in a beautiful golden bubble, connect them all. So as if they're in a big house, right? Of gold. Connect them all to God and connect them to earth. And you'll feel better that way. Now move them about 1,000, maybe 2,000 feet away from you. Just move the bubble away from you a little bit. Then you'll feel better. So when they are in our field, remember the field that I shared initially? When they're in that circle, unfortunately, we feel everything. So we're not trying to like disconnect and not feel whatever's happening, right? Because we know we have it, but we have to feel better in order for us to help. Okay, what happened when you moved the seniors 2,000 feet away? You didn't even go 2,000
Well,
miles.
it made me smile more.
Yeah, because now you can start to think, okay, how can I actually show up for them? How can I help them? How can I
Yes.
be of service to them?
Right.
So make sure that you move those people out of the way, right? Because you have your own circle. And for those of you that are highly sensitive in this time, you have to protect your sensitivity. You can't really be going out there. It's kind of like if you already know you're going to go in a pit of snakes, are you going to jump in?
No.
Knowing it's poisonous? You can't do that, right? So you have to protect your own sensitivity in order for you to actually be able to be of service to these people. All right, Catherine, she says
Thank
she's
you.
warm. Thank you. You
You're
feeling
the
good?
best.
Okay, I guess she does. She feels smiley now. Not having fever, assume it's an ascension symptom. It's the same feeling when I was in India, and I also feel my left ear moving on its own, sometimes especially when meditating. I don't know what it means. Okay. Okay, Catherine, let's see. Let's see what's going on with you. All right, Catherine. Yeah, you are changing, obviously. So the moving of the ear is just whatever you heard that no longer serves you, that's coming off. So just keep on saying, I return all these energies back to whoever's higher self. Keep on saying that. And the fever, I don't see a fever in your hypothalamus working
Not
properly.
it's more like a like feeling warm, like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's just, you should have some kind of heat in your body, right? So let me see. So let me just even you out. And you have to ground your chakras a little bit more. So let's do that. Let's take a deep breath and allow yourself to ground further into the earth and be okay. The doubt in yourself is what's causing a lot of the changes in symptom. Because you know, your soul knows where you want to go, but then everybody else feels like there's resistance. So again, bring the gold around your whole bubble and connect to your higher self and to God more, and bring that light all the way down to the earth. Take a deep breath. Say, I deserve to be alive. I deserve to fulfill my life purpose in this planet. So I'm going to delete your fear beyond. You're very fearful that when you become powerful, that you might forget who you are. Okay, so let's delete that from your ancestors. That's a weakness. Let's strengthen you to be neutral to 100% infinite potential. When you're connected to God and earth, you are just of service. It's just a way for you to kind of dim your light. So let's clear, say I unplug from my ancestors fear of me abusing my power. Yeah, there you go. Woo, so you feel that? So for those of you who have that symptom, sometimes we hide, that's called the cloak of invisibility, or we don't serve because we're afraid that we're going to be so powerful because we can change things like that, like very quickly. Your clients are gonna know you're doing that, because it's like you have some conflicts within you that you haven't solved yet, because you can't show up fully 100% because you're afraid that you're going to abuse it. So break your karma sticks. So let's unplug you from any karma and limitations, negative reactions, sensations, to being powerful and capable. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Oh yeah, there you go. Now that really like came off. Did you feel that, Catherine? It's like the energy just released on top of your head.
Yes.
Okay, cool. How you feeling? Is that better?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's so cool, right? So a lot of you guys that are very spiritual, you're here. You know you're here to serve and help others. It's not about you, by the way. It's never about us, okay? When we finally take that role, you're just an instrument of God's energy, and whatever skill you have, you use it for the good. And some people may misinterpret that, and that's okay. Again, everybody has their opinion. So let's delete all of your misperceptions, misinformation, miseducation. We got to delete all that, right? Whew. Okay, let's strengthen everyone to be neutral to whatever gifts and soul purpose you have, to 100% infinity. And let's strengthen everyone's confidence in serving others for your soul, purpose, and divine guidance. Okay, cool. Zora. Zora.
Yes, Vivian. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good, thank you. So lately I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety that I've never experienced before, and on top of that, I have this pain in the heart area that I actually went to the doctor. They checked everything. Everything is fine.
Zora, where are you from? I love your name.
Oh, I am from Afghanistan.
Oh, nice. Zora
Yeah.
Nawabi. Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful
thank you.
name.
Thank you.
So, pain, how much pain from 0 to 10? Let me just see where that's going.
I would say about 3. It's not that bad, but I do feel
Is it a
pressure.
tightness, like pressure in the front or in the back?
It's in the front. It's like in the chest area.
Okay. All right. So let's see where that's coming from.
Okay.
Are you married with kids?
I am not married, never been married, and I have no kids now.
Awesome. Okay. So this is funny. Okay. So just focus on your midline. I know some of you get like, where did she get that information? But remember, your insight, your intuition, when that channel is open above, you just get information. So she's asking me a question. So this is a loss that you had of a child, and you are grieving that loss from a past life experience or another dimension or planet. So I'm going to have you take a deep breath. It's a foreign body that's there, and your body's trying to get rid of it. So let me help you get rid of that. And I want you to release this soul, this child that didn't really come to pass. Let's clear that to 0 minus infinity and return that soul to where it came from, back to its higher self. It just needs another mommy.
Wow.
Do you have any desire to have kids? Or
I do. I do. I do want to have kids.
Yep. So let's release this so that you can have the opportunity to have kids. Does that make sense? Because if you're holding on to this kid, this soul, well, how are you going to get the partner, and how are you going to get the kid? Does that make sense? So let's clear this from centuries ago to 0 minus infinite potential and strengthen you to be neutral to 100% infinity. Okay, take a deep breath and bring gold from the earth, like liquid gold. Bring it through your feet and up to your body like a fountain, and the top of your head like a fountain. And let's just return this soul back to the veil. Now, there you go. So it looks like physically your vagus nerve kind of got entangled right there by the chest area. Vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve as it comes down to the neck and into the side of the heart. So it just looks like that, but the main cause, so you don't have a heart problem, I can just tell you. Like when I look at your atrium, your ventricles, they're fine, right, left, they're healthy, your heart's pumping well, your circulation is good. It's just this kid is sitting there. It's like a it's like a matter or an energy that sits on your heart.
I don't understand a kid that in another life, that was my child?
Yeah, that passed away. So you're mourning the loss
Oh,
of the child.
wow.
So that means you're accessing energies from a different dimension. So you have that capability to access other lifetimes. So I want you to close that loop right now. So close that door because we already sent the child, right? So somehow you're kind of living a double life. And I don't know if you are right now. You look like I don't know if when you're sleeping, you dream as if you're astral traveling, but you have the capability to access something else. So instead of living two lives, I want you to close that door from that dimension as if your bubble is closed. And then you just come back here and live this life. Like you have a right to be here. So you need to be here 100%.
Okay.
So do you notice that? Because that's a weakness for you when you have partners or when you date. It seems
Yeah,
that you can't be 100% with the person.
that's true.
All
Yes,
right,
that's
so
yes.
let's delete that. Let's delete that to 0 minus infinity and strengthen you to be neutral, to being with someone 100%, like present.
Yes.
Whew. Okay, how's your chest feeling? It looks better, actually.
It feels better. It's weird. I got like
Weird.
goosebumps. Goosebumps.
Yeah, I know, because it's never what you think it is, right? So when you start looking at physical, emotional, mental, psychological, psychic, spiritual planes, and
Yes.
then physically you have a symptom, but then you're like, but what is this? If it's not physical, well, you know, it's not physical, it's something else, right? So thank
Right.
you for participating there. Awesome. I know we're going on different kinds of weird stuff here. So let me just look at the chat here. Extreme discomfort in your uterus, low back glutes, lots of flare-ups. Okay, let's see what this is. Hold on a second. Joan, let's see.
Yeah, I'm right here, Vivian.
I know. All right, Joan. So your higher self is asking you, why are you alive and what is your purpose? And what do you have to do here? So somehow, if you put your uterus in a bubble, okay, you have a lot of energies there, emotional energies that are not yours. So take a deep breath and release all of your clients' energy back to their higher self. So you have to break your karma sticks and all your agreements with clients to use your uterus, your buttocks, your glutes to be there. They're like, oh, I like Joan because she helps me. So I want you to release that. By the way, I can tell you, it doesn't really matter if you discharge a patient early or late, whatever it is, you know, whatever they need, but you don't want to establish that codependency with them.
Yeah.
If they have that codependency, that means you have that codependency with them. So release all that. You will always find millions of clients in the planet. There's always a client for every therapist. I can tell you that. Okay, so, whew. So I'm going to have you unplug from your mother. That's where you got your codependency from. Say, I unplug from the energies of my mother, and I return all of her energies back to her higher self.
I unplug all of my energies from my mother, and I return all of her energies to her higher self.
Good. Take a deep breath. Put your mom on your left side. So if you guys are married or with a partner, your mom and dad goes to your left. Your brothers and sisters go to your left. Your husband and children usually go to your right. Good. So the whole group is becoming lighter as we're doing this clearing. So what one person has, because sometimes we hold on to our issues, right? Thinking, oh, I'm the only one with this, and how come I'm so smart and I still haven't figured out my problem, right? So it's all about energy, right? So as we release the attachments, when there are no more resistance and you can lean into what you really need, right? At this time, doesn't mean you're going to hold on to that person forever. Once you learn how to solve your problem, then do it yourself. Energy clearing is an everyday thing. You got to take care of you. You're the most valuable asset, right? Because without you, you can't really help others. And when you are 100% in there, when you're whole, you don't get affected by comments, negative, positive. It's just you're neutral to it, no trigger. Okay, how's your uterus there and low back and glutes? Let's connect
Yeah,
your uterus to your
it
midline.
feels, it
Is that
definitely
better?
feels longer. Yeah.
Okay, and you also have to unplug from, you know, how all the menstrual issues of all women around the world that have, you know, menstrual issues. So go ahead and unplug from all these menstrual cramps. It's just a way for us to kind of take care of ourselves. It's a normal process to detox. And it's normal that our chakra, the second chakra, goes counterclockwise during those monthly periods because we're deleting, right, old blood and old waste material in that area. So it's normal. So completely unplug from the drama of all the women having these dysmenorrhea and all these menstrual cycle issues. Okay, let's clear that out. The weakness there is feeling like there's no good men around to help you, like to be like side by side with you. So let's unplug you from that mentality that the man has to be like supporting you, like be completely independent, that you actually shine when you find this right partner. So let's unplug from your old partner and let's delete your weakness when it comes to roles, expectations. Delete all expectations. Say expectation, no expectation in a relationship, neutral.
Expectation, expectation in a relationship, neutral.
So you're gonna do both. Expectation, no expectation, neutral.
Expectation, no expectation, neutral.
Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, say I release myself from all forms of manipulation and games.
I release myself from all forms of manipulation and games.
To 100% infinite potential.
To 100% infinite potential.
Take a deep breath. There you go. Now bringing gold to your uterus and pelvis. Is that better? You feel more whole there?
Yeah.
All right. So Christy, heart heaviness, heart sadness with family issues. You're going to have to unplug from your family right now. Take a deep breath, because again, you're holding on to them, like you're holding space for everyone, okay? So put them all, again, husband and children on the right, and any other family members on the left, and go ahead and return all their energies to them. For all the women, keep your sacral chakra, your second chakra, just 5% open and ground it to the earth. So then you don't feel everybody's emotion. There you go. Perfect. Okay, and then Christy, connect all of your family members to God and earth. They can handle it. And then I want you to gather your aura, just bring it about 18 inches around you, and then ground your aura. Okay. Okay, I'm going to strengthen your receiving channels. Okay. Let's strengthen you to receive to 100% infinite potential. So you do have this weakness or a tendency to give, because you have a lot to give. And then when you're exhausted, like you're almost, right now you're at 10% energy, that's tiring, right? Like you can't like recover from that. It's kind of difficult. So let's delete your weakness in your speed of recovery, right? So make sure that your energy is able to strengthen and receive below the speed of light, at the speed of light, and beyond the speed of light, and you are congruent with the speed of the universe to 100% infinite potential. There you go. Again, return all emotional energies to your clients, higher self, back to their higher self. Shifra is getting a release here as I'm releasing everybody else. Great job, Shifra. Karma sticks, Diane, are agreements. So, Christy, I'm still working on you. So keep on breathing and allow yourself to take in this energy and this synchronicity from above and below. So bring energy from the earth like liquid gold and bring it up to your body. And then bring about 600 golden sun from the heavens and bring it down to you. karma sticks, for those of you who doesn't know, karma sticks are agreements. So if you think of a scroll in the past and you sign a contract, so you roll up the scroll and it becomes like a hardened stick. And if you've had old agreements from past life experiences, Diane, you will have these karma sticks. So I tell people to visualize the stick in front of them and like it's in a big bubble, right? Or in a big TV screen. And then I ask God, can you show me how many agreements I've had or karma sticks I have from past life that I am not aware of? Sometimes we see like thousands of them, sometimes just a few. And you cut that into half and you just burn it to the ground. Those are karma sticks. Cheryl is having health challenges, anxiety and edema. Aha. Cheryl, that's a heart issue, okay? So, so you are taking on the sadness of the world. So you're gonna have to say, I unplug from the sadness of everyone.
I unplug from the sadness of
I feel bad that I'm looking at you. I'm like, oh my God, she doesn't have any boundaries. So you're one of those, what we call the no boundary syndrome. So ask the divine to help you have a boundary that's firm yet flexible.
I ask the divine to give me a boundary that is firm yet flexible.
So take a deep breath and bring like 1,200 golden sunshine melting into gold. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Christy. Christy, how you feeling there? You feel, is your energy flowing better?
Yes, it is. I just wanted to make sure, does my heart look good? Like the arteries, like everything?
Yeah.
Right now? Yeah, okay.
What is a little bit blocked is your lymphatic system on the left side. So run some gold on your lymphatic system. So let's clear that, okay? So let's connect everyone's lymphatic system to their midline to your lymphatic system. And for those of you who have tension, you're gonna feel this, like it seems like you can't let go of things very easily. So the left side is your female side, the right side is your male side. So go ahead and bring that down, bring the gold down and just allow them to go all the way. Good, okay. Cheryl?
Yes. Hi.
You're gonna have to just say, I ask my angel of Akashic Records to keep my 8th chakra, your spiritual gateway.
I ask, hold on, say it again.
I ask my angel of Akashic Records to keep my 8th chakra.
My angel of Akashic Records to keep my 8th chakra.
Just 5% open and grounded.
Just 5% open and grounded.
So for those of you who listen to every telepathic message out there.
I'm a telepath.
Yeah, that's what you do. So tell me how your head feels. By the way, some psychics and channelers, this is what they do. And so what happens is they get a stroke or they get some kind of blood clot in the head, because you guys are like, we are all capable of this, but when our channels, it's like an antenna that's open to 10,000 frequencies, you can't do that. So the reason why we can't do that is that means parts of our soul is not in the body, right? We are traveling somewhere. And because we feel like we need to go over there, sometimes we can't confront the issues we have in life physically here. That's why we do that. But remember, all you need to do is connect to source and create your beautiful container, that is you, and be their home 100%. Otherwise, when we start to go out there, we really don't know what energies we're dealing with, right? And as you become more discerning of that, it's almost like an addiction. It's like, okay, that feels good because it happens really quick there. But then when we're down here, we can't handle the stuff physically, the mundane things, right? So we want to be able to bring God's light and be content with what we have, who we are, what experience is good and bad, be neutral, right? Not triggered. And allow those to be our teachers and our lessons. Otherwise, if the outside of us is like a dark side, And the dark side will always try to collect from us when it needs it, right? We don't know when that is. So our goal is to just be in the light. Stay here and be trusting that you got everything you need in order to function here. Does that make sense, Cheryl?
Yes. You described me.
And when you don't feel good, you may have to say to someone, that doesn't feel good. Can you stop doing that? Like, just say it. That's a boundary, right? Like, I don't feel good. I can't handle that right now. Like, stop. And then walk away. So let me strengthen your throat and your ability to speak your truth and your will to 100% infinity. You were silenced in past lives.
I was
That's why
silent in past lives, yes.
silenced, right? So sore throat, that's what your sore throat is about. Rosemary, there's a nurse that was kind of getting into your system, so return the energy back to the nurses. And you do have to unplug from all the people in the hospital every time you go there. Okay, so unplug from all of the healthcare workers and return all their energies back to their higher self. Whew. Awesome. A little bit more. So Cheryl, what I'm getting is because of that throat thing, like because you don't say your truth, there's parts of you that are not you. We call it the fake side of you, right? So let's clear that out. Let's take a deep breath and just be okay with living your truth 100% infinity. Even if your truth doesn't jive with everybody else's truth. Sounds familiar, right?
Yes, I've definitely I'm driving with a lot of people.
Angie, if you're, so see Angie's saying her discomfort came back. So for all of you that are really sensitive, I want you to put a bunch of golden roses around your golden bubble. Think about 2 feet worth of golden roses and just ask them to filter all the other energies that you're sensing. Okay? Connect all the roses to God and to Earth. So they look like big life-size roses that are your bodyguards. And they basically filter everything that's happening. Whew. How are you feeling in your throat? Is that better?
Me?
Yes.
A little better. A little better.
Okay, so it's just processing. So say same, not same, change, no change, neutral.
Same, not, wait, you want me to say that?
Yep, same, not same, change,
Same, not
no
same.
change.
Same, no change, neutral.
Nope, same, not same.
Same, not same.
Change, no change,
Change, no
neutral.
change, neutral.
Okay, so everyone, I'm going to integrate your past, present, and future. So you're in the now. Let's bring that up to 100% infinity. Whew. Wow, cool. How you feel?
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Shipra.
So here's my question. Well, my statement, and I'm going to be blunt about it. So yeah, I'm very connected. I know I don't have this disease. I know I'm not going to get it. I just know that.
Mm-hmm.
However, so I had a victimhood entity that I got rid of.
Okay, good.
I was being victim to like what was going on. I'm having a problem, and I'm going to use this word, and I apologize, but this is the only word that I can think of. I'm having a hard time with the stupidity out there, and not the media, but people out there. And so I'm doing my best not to judge, because, you know.
Yep, that's the judgment. So say judgment, no judgment, neutral.
Judgment, no judgment, neutral.
Choice, no choice, neutral.
Choice, no choice, neutral.
Cool. Okay, perfect. Christy,
I just feel like I lost 10 pounds.
Good. Christy, are you feeling better there?
Are you talking to me?
Oh,
Yes.
Christy. Yes. Okay, perfect. So everybody is in a better place. You all look good. You all look beautiful. Awesome. So I really love to help. So if you have a burning question or you have anything that you want to talk about and you want some clarity on it, please go to viviandeguzman.com/clarity call. And if you're having a hard time finding an appointment, because we're busier now than ever, it seems like, you can email me at vivian@feelbetterrehab.com, vivian@feelbetterrehab.com, and I would love to speak with you. So it's a free 30-minute call to really just see if there's a problem you couldn't solve and you want some help, okay? So thank you so much. I'm so happy to be of service to everyone, and I am glad everyone's feeling better. Thank you.